Hi, how you doing? I'm Navid from Still Game. Yeah, a bunch of bastards. He's my little brother. I will make a living off taking his credit whenever I can. Welcome, Scotland! I know it's been a tough year for us. You know, last year there was about 10,000 people. This year it's dwindled to what the police think might be 30,000. So really, so many people are going to have to hold some down on Carlton Hill. It wasn't the first time I've been held down on... Thank you very much for coming. Just so that we're clear, this isn't about creating a nation. This is about restoring a great nation back to where it once belonged. Those flags you hold are older than any of the policies we've suffered under for a long time, and I mostly mean the policy that I'm openly defying today, which is too many colours. So thank you for allowing a wee fat brown boy from Bishopbriggs to speak his mind. It's amazing to be here and hugely humbling. I was speaking to a pal of mine who is one of the undecided, one of the waivers this morning. She sent me a text. She said, "Shall I come up? Will there be speeches? Will I learn things that will help me make a decision?" And I said, yes, yes, yes. And she showed up and I just bumped into her around the corner. She said it was very emotional coming up the hill, which it was. I can't think of another time in my life where there'd be such a spread of people of different ages. And Sharon was telling me about a granddad that was explaining to his 3-year-old about how we were once a nation in our own right. And astonishingly, that 3-year-old understood it more than most MPs in Westminster. So we still have a superior education system. There's lots of speakers, lots of music, lots of entertainment today. But just at the beginning, if I, as that wee fat boy from Bishopbriggs, who's always wanted my country to be what I know my country can be, to thank you, because there's a long way to go. But this feels like the beginning of the start for me. And thank you for coming today. Thank you, Aberdeen. Thank you, Melrose. Thank you, Kirkintilloch. And thank you, even Lindsay. Let's even thank Lindsay for too many dental practices and corner shops. Let's hear it for Lindsay. Often overlooked. And I know there's been a big contingent come in from the Highlands and Islands, so... Hello, how are you? And don't worry, everything's open in Edinburgh tomorrow. You'll be fine. Now, my job initially is to introduce the main host for today. I've been struggling with the best introduction for a woman that I've always known. All of my life I've known her to be a brilliant Scot, a passionate Scot, a talented Scot. So I asked her before coming out, how best... Oh, Pnawn Da to the Welsh! Pnawn Da is Welsh for Pnawn Da. Deal with it. So do we see? I don't understand the fucking word they're saying. But thank you for coming. I said to her, I said, how do you want me to introduce you? I'm want to say fucking again because I want to see what the signing for it is. Have you seen what the signing for bullshit is? Do bullshit. Bullshit's great. You'll be hearing a lot of bullshit from me and something about aubergines and the big end on a diesel engine. Fucking hell, even the best sign language people in the world. So, sorry. So our host for today, she describes herself as the Beyonce Knowles of Scotland. I describe her as the amazing Elaine Smith!
What a sight this is. Absolutely brilliant on this wonderful day, this special place. And the good news is actually that there are so many people on the march that they're still coming in and some of them won't be able to get on the hill. Isn't that fantastic? Well, not that they can't get on the hill, but you know what I mean. Right. What a day, what a sight you are. My name is Elaine Smith. I'm a member of the advisory board of the Yes campaign. I'm chair of the Scottish Independence Convention, and I'm the MC along with Hardeep here today. And it's my job to welcome each and every one of you to this almost holy, symbolic place, Calton Hill. I'd also like to say here and now that I'm here as an individual. I am not representing any political party. The Yes campaign is made up of many different parties, groups, individuals, and they're all represented here today. Yes Scotland is not just the SNP. Did you hear that in the media? Did you hear that? It's not just the SNP. I know that the media and the commentators would like to portray this movement as being some sort of front so that they can marginalise or diminish the campaign, but it's not true. However, I want to say here and now a massive thank you to the SNP and all those campaigners out there today, as well as many who sadly have not lived long enough to see this day, who have worked for decades to bring us to this place. Thank you. We are at a special place in our history where we as a nation will vote on our future, and we'll take the time to debate, to discuss, envision the type of country that we want to live in, the type of country that we want for our children and our grandchildren. Now, as the great Scottish writer Peter Arnott, and I know he's in the crowd somewhere today, he said a brilliant phrase actually, that Scotland is basically an argument. Well, I like that. I love a good argument. And you know why I like it? Because it shows we still care enough. We still care enough to argue, to tackle difficult subjects, to embrace ideas and creativity, to engage our brains into thinking about more than simply how much something costs. Is it just me? Is it just me? I don't think it is, but I feel we now live in a country in the UK that appears to know the cost of everything and the value of nothing. Yes, we like a good argument, and why not? From the ancient clans right through to devolution, we have debated our future as a nation, and those arguments will continue. And all Scots are going to be asked to join that debate. And then, as another great writer, Alistair Gray, said, we will be living in the first days of a better nation. This might be unpopular at a Yes rally. I actually would like to say I don't doubt the sincerity of those in the no camp. Not the new camp, the no camp. No, the football stadium. They're very sincere. Anyway, in the no camp are those who have yet to make up their minds. And there's a lot of people here today who don't know us, and welcome to all of you. We are all Scots. No matter where you started out, be it Ireland, India, Pakistan, Poland, Somalia or England, if you live and work and contribute and love this country, then for me you are a Scot. I'm not a was-like-us kind of Scot either, you know. I do enjoy a glass and I have a tear in my eyes singing my own folk occasionally as well, but I don't think actually as Scots that we are better than any other nation. We're not. But what I do know for certain is we are every bit as good as any other nation, and we have the right to determine and control our future as much as anybody else. Supporting Yes doesn't make you more Scottish than someone in the no camp. They are every bit as proud of their roots, their ancestry, and I don't doubt that we have a common bond. And that common bond is we all want to make this place better. We have to make this country better. Where we differ is how we think we can achieve that. And I don't believe, and have not for over 20 years now, that Westminster can or will ever deliver for the people who need it the most. And I include people across the whole of these islands. What we have with independence is a chance. we've got a chance to create a real democratic parliament with full powers, a written constitution where sovereignty lies with the people of Scotland. A chance to make this place better. Now, there are some who believe there's no need for change. If you live in a really affluent area, you've got a good job, drive a couple of nice cars, a good pension, a wee holiday home in Mallorca, your kids are at private school, why do you want change? Life for you is good. And I've had a lot of those advantages in my own life. But surely, and I think we are like this as Scots, surely our lives have to be more about our own personal comfort and gain. Is your life not made worse by knowing that half a mile away there are people living in abject poverty through no fault of their own, with no hope, no future and no dreams of a better life? I live in the East End of Glasgow. I live in the posh bit, the scum with money bit. But anyway, but I live in the East End. I drive through, I'm walking through there, I'm shopping there every other day. Life expectancy for men. In the year 2013, life expectancy for men in Shettleston is 58 years of age. 58! Where child poverty is estimated at 1 in 3. After 50 years of Labour in power in the city of Glasgow, and in the Parliament, and in Westminster, they should hang their heads in shame. And there's a lot of talk about vision just now. We've got to present a vision of the Scotland we want to live in, and I agree with that. But is that the vision that Labour and those who hold power see for this country? More of the same? Is that what the No campaign think is good enough? Oh, and of course we've had all this stuff trying to scare us to death over the past months. The tsunami of negativity in the media and the press. Project Fear. Well, I'll tell you what the real Project Fear is. And that's what's coming towards us over the hill as the coalition veers more and more to the right, and the massive cuts to the public service and welfare that are about to be put in place over the next year. You think it's bad now? Just wait. So far, we've only experienced 10% of the cuts that are coming our way. That's the real Project Fear, and it scares the bloody bejesus out of me, I'll tell you. And they tell us that we're the separatists, that we're splitting the union, we're divorcing, breaking up Britain, ripping things up, abandoning Britain and its common values. Do you know the irony in all this? It's not Scotland that's abandoning the British values that once bound us together on both sides of the border. It's Westminster, the London city-state, the rich elites. It's they who have abandoned those British values, not us. It was the Thatcher government that started it. They threw away those values of the post-war consensus that my parents, my grandparents believed in. And they did believe then, after the war, that we were all in it together. Those values that created the welfare state, the health service, that believed that the state had a moral as well as a social responsibility to care for the sick, the poor, the disabled, the dispossessed. A society that would do its best to make people's lives better. Those days are gone. We are now witnessing an attack on the working class, a demonisation of the working poor that is worse than anything I've seen in my life. Peddling myths and lies, getting working people to turn on each other, and of course that's what they want. They want us fighting amongst ourselves, because then we take our eyes off all of those who hold the power and all the money in Westminster. Where working people are constantly told that wanting a decent job, a living wage, good housing is something that they don't deserve. That they're being greedy. They're asking too much. You want to talk about greed? Just take a look at the greed, the selfishness, the corruption of the City of London, the vested interests of the institutions, from the banks to the heads of the BBC, where massive wealth is acceptable. People who live in a way that is unimaginable to the rest of us. But of course that's old news, isn't it? That's old news. The media have moved on. No charges brought, Nobody goes to prison. Who cares? The media have moved on to the news story that tells the rest of us that we're lazy, we're feckless scroungers and benefit cheats. Can I say, I was brought up in a mine in Steeltown in Lanarkshire, right? My father, my mother, my extended family would have died rather than no go to their work and feed their families. When they hoped and dreamt of a better life for their children, it wasn't about money. It wasn't about just being rich. I don't remember them ever talking about money, making pots of money. It was about a better life. It was about becoming a teacher or a doctor or a nurse or going to college or getting a trade so we could live healthy, decent lives. And what have we just been told by people here in Scotland that should know better? That Scotland is a something-for-nothing society. How dare you? How dare you? And of course, all of us, we're always accused in the Yes campaign of being too emotional. That this is just an emotional argument. We let our hearts rule our heads. I never really knew how to answer that. And then I heard the fabulous playwright David Gregg. He said that he actually felt the decision to vote yes was the opposite of that. That it is our heads, it's our intelligence that has brought us here. For me, it's a no vote that is emotional, driven by a heart full of fear. And let me just say, the best decisions in my life, in anybody's life, come from the head and the heart. That's what's brought me and thousands of people across Scotland to the campaign for yes. Our heads and our hearts. So today, let's put our collective minds together, right? Let's use our passion, our creativity to imagine this better place, a better country. Let's lift our hearts and dream. And you know what? We're allowed to dream. Let's enjoy this special, special day, a special time in a special place. Let's go forward, everyone, with our hearts and our heads. Let's go forward with our heads held high and our hearts full of hope for the future, knowing that we can deliver a yes vote for this country and its people. With your head and your heart, vote yes. Yeah!